So we've looked at the way the section is going to end up, but how do we actually get there? So these next set of videos are going to take us through creating a fairly simple 2D section through this building. Okay, so we'll be looking at sheets BP 2D 16 and onwards. Okay, so firstly we want to decide where we're going to take the section through the building, and you try to do this through interesting parts of the building. Nobody's going to be impressed by a very basic section. The more interest you can put into the drawing, the better. So what I'm going to do is take a section that cuts through the back kind of courtyard area. Okay, so we'll come through the plinth, through the walls, through the water, and back through the walls and plinth to the other side, and we'll look as if we were standing here looking eastwards. Okay, we're looking to the right. Okay, so firstly we want to mark where we're going to take the section. Okay, I'm going to change layers to the annotate layer. Okay, I would do it if it was there. I don't have it. Okay, so we're going to create that layer first. So a new layer, and let's call it annotate. So I'm just using this for general notes and other graphics. Okay, color white will be okay for this. So I'll make it current. Close that. Okay, so we're going to mark a section line vertically through here. So we'll need ortho on for that. So it's line. Okay, and we'll just drop a line through here. I'm going to keep this going because I'm going to make a kind of an arrowhead. So I'm just going to drag across and then come back to a nearest point. We haven't used this object snap before. If you want to use an object snap just once, if you hold shift and right click your mouse, I can look for the nearest O snap and pick this position. So that lets me pick any point on any object. Press enter to finish the command. Okay, let's mirror that shape over to the other side. It's MI, return. Pick the two lines and return. Find the middle of our section line. Drag to the right. Ortho is on. Click once. I don't want to lose the originals, so you press enter. Okay, so this implies the direction that you're looking in. So we're on this side of the section line, looking this way. Now what we do is project lines from where the section line cuts the objects. Now that's going to end up with us having a drawing that's on its side. Now that's not really very easy to draw or understand. Okay, so what some people do would be to rotate the whole plan. Okay, but if I do that, then I've ruined my layout. The plan's not there anymore. Okay, so what they might do is they might copy the plan and rotate the copy. Okay, and then they might draw their section in this area. Okay, what I'm going to show you though is a more sophisticated way. So undo that, get rid of that. And that is to change the coordinate system so that it's in line with the section line. Okay, so we use a command called UCS. UCS, return. I want to pick an object on screen to align with, and I'll pick near the top end of the section line. And can you see which way X and Y are facing now? They've jumped and they've rotated 90 degrees. Okay, we now use the plan command, plan, and enter twice. So that effectively turns your monitor around. It hasn't messed the plan up at all. Okay, if I check my layout, things will be just the way they were. Okay, it's just my position relative to the plan that's changed. Okay, and this is a good way of working because it keeps everything in its original alignments. So if you do change the design, you can quickly update your section to suit. Okay, the section's a critical drawing. Some people start designing buildings from the section. They won't start with a plan. They'll work out the structure. They may, sketch just at a basic level, working out the structure, and maybe it's a volumetric issue that they're trying to solve. So the section gives you much more control over those aspects. It's easy to understand the design. Okay, so we're going to start off with the thicker portions of the walls. Okay, so let's see what layers we've got for this. We've got a 2D section, very heavy line. Okay, so I'll make that my current layer. Okay, and then I'm looking for where the section line crosses the main features here. So let's take lines up from these intersections. So these are called projections. Okay, we project these lines up do the same on the other side. It's symmetrical. I could have mirrored these lines over, but I'm just going to draw them. Okay, so that's the only lines that get cut through. There's nothing else I can project up. I've now got to consider the heights for the section. Okay, so we'll draw a line across from left to right. So that's going to be my ground line. Okay. Now the height of the plinth, we walk from this level up the steps to here, is 1200 millimeters. Okay, so O, return, 1200, return, take this line, go up and click again. Now the height of the walls around the building and the courtyard here are 3 meters high. So return twice, change your offset distance to 3000, return, pick the newest line, go up and pick again. Press escape to finish, or enter to finish. Okay, now the last line I need is the depth of the pool. Okay, because we come along the ground, up the plinth, along a bit, up the wall, and then down into the deeper pool, across, back up and over, round and down. Okay, so the pool is 600 millimeters deep. So O, return, 600, return, take this line down and pick again. So we've got the lines we need, we just now have to try and pick out the shape. So press escape to finish. So let's start with trim, and we'll chop out, we'll use these two lines first and return, and this is going to remove the ground. Okay, so it comes up here. We then want to lose these two bits. Okay, return to bring back the trim command, and we'll pick these 3 lines now. Return, and we chop away, and so that gives us the plinth shape. Okay, we'll change to fillet now. So F, return, and we're going to take the walls down to the pool. So pick, pick, return, pick, pick. Same on the other side. Now we can chop off the tops of the walls. So it's trim again, TR, return. Let's pick everything in this area. And return. And we're going to chop off these 4 lines in one go. And then 1, 2, 3. So we're starting to see the shape taking form now. Comes up the plinth, up the wall, down into the pool. We've just got to chop away a few more lines and we've got the overall shape. So it's trim again, TR, return. Let's use these 3 lines now, and return. Take away this, take away this, take away this. And that gives us the basic profile. I'm going to make this slightly tidier. Okay, so the pool is going to extend just another 25 millimeters this way. So the marble, the green marble, the expensive material, stops at this point, and then it goes back to concrete down to the pool. Okay, so let's do that using the grips. We'll extend this line outwards by 25. Escape. Draw a line up from there by 600, and then bring it back perpendicular. We can then fillet here or trim. If we're getting close enough, we can use fillet. So F, return, pick, pick. Okay, so do you understand that? That's where the marble comes down and then the backing wall appears where it goes into the water. This gets dirty and stained. It's inevitable. Okay, so we'll do the same detail on the other side. Pick the line, extend it by 25, escape, draw a line up from end point, going up 600, and then back towards the marble, perpendicular. Zoom in closer, and we can fillet those together. Okay, so that's the overall shape. We now go on to the second level of detail. We need to show what's happening in the background. We've got the plinth, they've got the support for the statue, we've got all sorts of little features to add. So we go to a different layer now. We've got 2D section medium line. Okay, we want a line just simply across the very top. Okay, so this is going to be a much thinner line than this one when it prints out. Okay, we're going to say that the water is 500 millimeters deep. So offset 500, return, take this line up, and then change it onto the yellow layer. You can use match properties for that. So it's match yellow to pink. Okay, and the final line for this layer is for the plinth. Now we could copy this. Instead of projecting, we can copy. It's a polyline, so let's not copy this. Let's just project. Okay, so we'll take lines up. Okay, a line from either side of the base there. The top of the stand for the statue is in line with where the marble starts. So bring a line across, and then fillet those together to tidy up, and use the base of the pool to chop off the bottoms of the lines. So trim, TR, return, pick this as the cutter, return, chop away, escape. Okay, it's starting to shape up. We can understand what's going on now. We've got our water, we've got the wall behind. What about some patterning on the wall? Okay, what we want to have is 5 panels. 3 panels high, but 5 panels wide. Okay, but these are very faint lines, so we don't want these to show up very strongly. Okay, so we'll change layer to 2D elevation, very thin line. Okay, and if we draw from there to there, and from here across to the other side, okay, it's 3 meters high, so each panel this way would be 1000 millimeters high. So O, return, 1000, return, take these lines down, and again. Okay, match properties, grey to the 2 yellows. Okay, the width between is not necessarily going to be a nice number. Okay, it's 10/100. Divided by 5, that would give us 2.2 2 meters per panel. Let's say it was a nasty number. We'll divide that instead. So div return, pick the line, and we'll divide it by 5. We now know where we've got to draw our lines down. I'm just going to check that I do have the right number of panels here. Yeah, I do. 5 in total, yeah. Just before I carried on. Okay, so we take a line. We've got node available on our object snaps. Okay, so we can just draw a line from node to perpendicular. And then the nodes can be deleted. So that's the general shape there. The main thing we're missing here though is the statue. So what we're going to do is attach a JPEG image of the statue and then cut it out. Okay, so we go to the this will be on the shape 2D section medium line. This will be the shape, the layer we use for the shape. But the image itself, that might go onto its own layer. I don't think we've got a layer to hold these, but these will be the clip art later on. So actually make 2D clip images your current layer. So 2D clip images, and then insert attach. So use this command when you're attaching pictures or other types of objects. If you're adding a drawing, we use the insert command here. Okay, so it's insert attach, and I need to find the file. Okay, so we've got this Barcelona Pavilion statue crop JPEG, and open. Okay, don't know what size to place it yet, we'll work that out in a second. Okay, so the picture is actually at the end of my cursor, it's tiny. Okay, it's waiting for me to place it and then scale it. Okay, so let's just place it here and see what happens when we drag it in. Okay, now at the moment I've got images set to not display, so I'm just going to check what's happening here, and right, so that shouldn't have happened like that. Okay, right, let's bring that in again. Okay, so we'll insert attach Barcelona Pavilion statue, click open. We want to control the specification, the size and the scale, so click OK. Let's find a convenient place and just drag just roughly the height. Okay, so what we want to do is have this as the base of the image. This is going to sit on top of the yellow line. So let's create a new boundary for this, and then we'll place it and resize it. Okay, so this is quite good fun. Okay, what we want to do is create a new clipping frame around this object. So the command is quite a long one. It's called image clip. Press enter. We're going to clip this image. It's assuming we want a new boundary, so you press enter. Then it's saying what type of boundary. Do you want just a rectangle, or do you want something a bit more tricky? We've got polygonal, or we could pick an object to use. So this will be polygonal. Okay, now we have to be quite careful. So I'm going to take my first point to be over here. Then across to this side, and as I drag around now, I'm going to take ortho off. We're going basically just inside the edge of the object. Okay, I can click and hold my middle mouse button to help me pan around. So I've got an ankle there, and up the leg to the knee. Okay, I'm trying to do as few clicks as possible, working my way around the shape. Okay, I want to make sure I'm on the statue side of the edge. You don't want to see any of the background showing up. Okay, so keep going up towards the armpit. Don't rush this. If you do, you will tend to make mistakes. Okay, so we're nearly up one side. This is quite a complicated shape, this one, so it's going to take a little time to get around. Okay, around the fingers here. And what I'm going to do is go create a small gap, and this allows me to sneak through into this kind of trapped space. Okay, go up the neck, back around the hair. Okay, the other hand is coming into view here. Okay, and what we'll need to do is create another little break at some point to get in here. So you can see what I'm doing. I'm creating a little gap where I can get in. So I'm going to do the same here, just at the wrist. Form a little gap so I can get in and trace around the head. Okay, back up the arm. Okay, and then back out to the rest of the shape. Okay, just keep it going. Come down the torso to the waist, around the hips, and we're coming back down now. If you make a mistake, I've gone a bit too far to the edge there, you can use the letter U and return. So it lets you drop back a stage. Okay. We're close now, close to being finished. Okay, and back along the plinth here, around the corner there, and double click when you're happy. Press enter to finish. So that's my statue cut out. Okay, we can place that now. Drop it on there, and then we've just got to decide on the scale. So if we think this should be a little bit bigger, I don't have a measurement for the actual height of the statue, so I'm just going to judge this. So I think this should be a little bit bigger, maybe about 10 or 15% bigger. So I'm going to scale this object by 1.1 and see where that takes it. So SC, return, pick the object and return. Base point is the middle here, and the scale factor 1.1. So that makes it 10% bigger. Okay, that's looking okay. I don't think it needs to be much bigger than that. I think that will work. That will work fine. Okay, so behind the statue, if we just had this as an outline, then we shouldn't see the grey line running past the background. Okay, now it would be handy if we had this as a polyline as well. And if I switch the image off so we don't see the outline, I'm hoping it will leave us with with the shape. Let's see what happens. So we use a command called image. Okay, I'm going to detach that one. So if I right click the image and unload, let's see if it's left us with the boundary. It has. Good. Okay, we can put that onto the medium line layer, 2D section medium line. Okay, and then I don't think we can use this to trim with. Let's just see if we can. TR return. We can. It's treating it as a polyline, so we can use it to trim away the grey lines in the background. So that's the first stage of the section complete. We've got the detail we need, we've got the statue in, we've sized it to what we want, and it's all working pretty well. So we'll stop there and we can pick this up and start enhancing this section with more information.